Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Church Guys Podcast. I'm Brett, I'm the firefighter.
I'm Quentin, I'm the student.
I'm Craig, I'm the pastor.
I'm DJ, and I'm the IT guy.
And we are the Church Guys. We are back. We got some good stuff to talk about today. Let me tell you what. You stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow. Hey, let's get into it. It's going to be good today.
What are we going to get into first? The NFL?
We always start with
Aaron.
something.
Aaron Rodgers.
Crazy Aaron.
The non...
I got a conspiracy theory on that, but go ahead.
The nothing going on there. It's still the same. He's basically stopped communicating with the Packers at this point, so
it's almost a done deal.
Here's my theory.
hit me.
The Packers are holding out for all they can get.
They are.
They're waiting till draft day to put the Jets under the heat and go, give us more.
Well, the thing that's still holding it is the thing that's always been holding it was Packers won number one pick, and the Jets are like, no, we're not going to give you number one pick.
No, they're not going to get no one pick. They can kiss that goodbye.
So
he has been number one pick worthy for a while, unfortunately. It's a thing called age.
yeah, but it's also like we talked about the last show. I mean,
And production.
if they don't send him anywhere, are you really going to bench a $58 million Hall of Fame quarterback for a rookie who is unproven?
No, they're going to play him.
Or is he going to retire?
Yeah,
He don't want to be there.
Yeah, that's a good possibility. He could retire.
He can just say, I'm done.
Make him.
And then he'll go in retirement for a year, and then some team will sign him for 2 or 3 years, probably.
He'll go like the Cardinals or something.
Sounds like Tom Brady.
Well, Brady
see that-
did something else, though. He
Yeah.
won
He
a
won
championship.
He did win a ship.
Yeah.
You know,
And went back to the playoffs again. I mean, that's pretty good.
with a bad. I mean, their team this year wasn't that good at all.
See,
yeah, I
it
didn't-
was garbage.
That's why
was.
Dallas beat them.
The
Correct.
thing I think is funny is they went out and they signed Alan Lazard, and I'm like, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go there, then that was a crap sign because you've got a number 4 receiver at best locked into almost a $50 million contract.
Maybe, hopefully, to a lure. Never know.
Rodgers going to do what Rodgers wants to do.
Yeah,
The end.
Yep.
Which
Just
is
Because
what is the most selfish act that you could do?
handcuff 2 teams.
Maybe potentially get a third involved. I want
Well,
this guy to be here too.
There is a third involved, but they haven't actively seeked, which is the 49ers. And at this point, it's just speculation. But, Craig, I think you're right. It's going to come down to draft day
that's it.
because they still want that first-round pick, and the Jets are like, we're not going to give it to you. So
No.
Just sums up Green Bay Packers.
Who's going to cry uncle first, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I did, just to see if there was any movement on the 4 people that I'm watching, which is just the number 1 pick overall. Bryce Young has started to gain traction as the number 1 overall pick because Carolina is in desperate need of a quarterback.
Well,
I did hear where he's not taking any more interviews with other teams.
Yep, he shut
so
that
he
down.
took I think you said the Panthers, right? And Houston. And after that, he's like, basically, one of those
bad
2
thing-
teams are going to take him.
the bad thing for
you know.
Bryce is either one of those teams have a horrible track record with quarterbacks.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is the Texans are pretty much locked in on C.J. Stroud right now.
Who is the Texans coach? Did they rehire anybody? Because I think they fired
clue.
Lovey, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they fired Lovey, but I don't know if
Got
they
who
hired
it is.
anybody.
Yeah, they did.
Sorry to you.
They got somebody. I don't know who it is.
So, but the 4 that
What'd you
I've
say, Brett?
been. What'd you say?
Did you say Jimbo?
No.
I think he said Sarkisian. But so
we'll get into that in a little bit. You better be ready.
Bring it. I ain't scared.
So they got the other one I'm watching, of course, is the 3 of us are, is Bijan. Right now, he's slotted for still with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're keying in on, or they're actually, their first round pick is that they're keying on is an offensive tackle out of Northwestern, Peter Skorsky. But he's projected to go earlier in the round to the Bears.
He's as big as a helicopter.
He is.
Sorry.
He is actually fairly big though.
Sikorsky.
I've been hearing the Bills are very interested in Bijan.
I'm telling you. The
Because-
Cowboys-
But I think the
Singletary-
Eagles.
the
Singletary
Cowboys gotta make
is
a big
gone.
decision.
Now that he's left, and who do they have at running back? The Bills.
The
they
Bills
don't have anybody.
no threat at running back.
That's what I'm saying.
Last year, they had no threat. at
And
running
if
back.
the
Well,
Eagles don't need him, which they have a couple of running backs that have Gainwell, they didn't re-sign Sanders, so they only have 1. But if they need an offensive lineman, you know, I think the Bills can sweep
the
in.
reason they didn't sign Sanders is I think they're all in on Bijan.
Who, Barry?
Huh?
I don't know.
Barry Sanders. That's cool. I guess I'm the only one who knows football. That's
No, you caught me off guard. I was like, wait, what?
Everybody just
We shifted gears really quick.
On a side note, the church is getting remodeled, and they are staining and
Staining
sealing
cabinets,
and
yeah.
all kinds of fuming, and it is wonderful.
We have relocated, so if our podcast sounds more echoey than it normally is, we are in a different room because
we're in the foyer.
But praise the Lord, we get some updates, and it looks good.
Yep.
Y'all should come check it out.
Please.
You were talking about the draft. Honestly, I don't ever get into all. I
it
don't
doesn't
look into
matter.
the draft
No.
because it does not matter until
Yeah.
after draft day is done.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what's going to happen.
I just like keeping track of the draft boards
Oh yeah,
and seeing
there's
where.
nothing wrong with that. It's just you have no clue what's going. It's kind of like
There's
who's
gonna
going
be
to
a bunch
win
of
the
trades.
March Madness this year. Nobody's seen that
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
Who
That's
wants
how
who
draft
bad
is.
enough is all that is
Yeah.
in the draft. Who's willing to pay what? And that's
Right.
there's a huge article in ESPN about Bijan today. It's awesome. It's long. It's
Yeah, I read
crazy
that.
long.
I read part of that article. Then
And,
my ADD kicked in. I was like, I can't finish this.
And he's-
long.
It's a long article.
But they were praising him because he's just a great guy.
He
and
is.
He's got an amazing
He's a
physical
strong.
talent.
He's a strong guy to have.
He's the best running back
I don't
coming
know
in
why
years.
anybody would want to pass on him.
Because the NFL is got this stupid thing in their head that running backs aren't worth whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
going, if you got a generational talent that has been around for several years at least, or more.
Yep, absolutely.
Some people are saying he's like Adrian Peterson. He's not quite as strong as Adrian Peterson,
Nor as fast.
nor is top end speed, but he's good.
He's a bruiser, though.
Good.
He's
You don't want to get in the way of his stiff arm.
No.
so shifty.
He's Reggie Bush with a stiff arm.
Oklahoma learned that the hard way.
I hope
Oh,
wherever
yeah.
he gets picked up, well, unless it's
Cowboys.
Philly. If it's Philadelphia, I hope he gets hurt.
Cowboys,
No.
they're going to trade. The Cowboys are going to trade up and get him. Jerry Jones is a businessman. He's
He is.
playing this close to the vest, and they're going. I want him for my bling, for my money.
Yeah, but can they trade up that? Because aren't they like 26 or 27?
26.
How far up would you trade to get him?
Hey,
Dak,
man,
give away
look at
Dak.
what they're signing right now. They're signing a lot of.
You say
1
give away
year.
Dak. Then what are you going to do?
Kidding.
They're signing a lot of
He's
1 year
joking.
stuff, so it looks like they're trying to make a run this next year.
Yeah,
they're
they
not
are.
going to have the year after, obviously.
No.
But these short-term contracts, they're making a push this year to go all the way. So I can.
At that
see it
point, you may
happening.
want to get rid of Dak. They're going to
I
make a
can-
push this year.
I mean, it's potential because
The
you
good
would
thing
free
is
up a lot.
Buffalo is at 27. Dallas is at 26.
Yeah, they're not there. Yeah. Oh,
And see, that's what I was saying is that's the reason Philadelphia's keying in on him because they're
But
10.
Philly's at 10. If they don't get him at 10, he could drop
what's their second
But
pick though? Their second
people are
pick is
gonna-
Super Bowl.
his 30th.
And then the last one,
I like it. I love it.
the last couple two, which I've said before, Green Bay's picking 15. Everybody's saying they're going after Ohio State wide receiver Jackson Smith.
And
Jigba.
Yeah, that guy. I'm glad y'all finished it because y'all know I'm
That'll
terrible
be
with
a-
names.
You know where he's from? Locally,
Terrell.
Rockwall.
Yeah, he's from Rockwall. But
Close. He didn't even know it.
being
so smart, I didn't even know.
Hey, Terrell got some athletes, I
I'm
will
just,
say,
I'm
though.
just answering.
being a lifelong Packers fan, I know that they're not going to pick anybody that's going to be on
praying for you.
offense in the first round.
Well, I think offensive guy if you're losing your quarterback.
Yeah, draft a quarterback.
I mean, really.
And then
I would just be so embarrassed to be a Packers fan. I mean,
Either that or cold.
all the above. All the above.
and then the Dallas Cowboys I don't know. I've seen so many different ones on their picks that I don't know, but this recent one that they updated, they have them taking a defensive lineman, Brian Brees.
Yeah.
Don't know
Cool.
who that is. They say that he's a fantastic talent with explosion.
If it works out like Parsons did a couple years ago, I'm good with it.
I can't hear you. You didn't talk into your microphone.
Oh, that's why I did it on purpose.
What'd you say?
What's his name? Brian
Brian Brees. He's from Clemson.
Clemson.
Mhm.
Oh, then he's good.
Oh, yeah. If he came from that defensive squad, yeah. That's pretty much all I got on the draft. There's not a really whole lot going on other than those four that I'm
It's just a
watching.
wait and see. That's all.
It is.
That's all that is.
Isn't it coming up next week?
Yes.
24th?
It's
4
coming
days
up.
away
Coming up.
It'll be fun.
from our recording date.
Huh?
4 days away from our recording date. We're recording on the 20th in case somebody was wondering.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Put this one out and then we can have a post show.
Maybe have a guest. We'll see. You never know.
420. You know what today is?
Oh, yeah.
4 days after my birthday. What are you thinking about?
Happy birthday.
I don't know.
I don't either.
What is that?
It's national. That's what the degenerates of the nations have turned into Weed Day.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
National Pot Day.
Happy late birthday, Brett.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Please comment on our
Send-
new Facebook page.
send
No, it's the
all-
same one.
Same
It's the same
Facebook
one, yeah.
page.
We just-
Send
It
all
has been
donations to personal Venmo.
hacked.
I had to de-administrate DJ and then re-administrate him.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got kicked off the administration of the Facebook. I was just terrified something inappropriate was going to get. That was my initial
Yeah.
thing because
they administrated you.
that's what they do is they hack and then they start sending out all this
These
random
links.
stuff. And I was like,
China.
I was worried about they're gonna do like some kind of giveaway.
yeah.
Say, hey, and it
tried to
makes
get
it
away
look somewhat official.
We tried to get away a pig and it wouldn't do it.
but
But it was like, so that was my first thought. I was like, I gotta get Craig to do something with the Facebook so they can't have access to that one. So
NBA news. The
NBA
playoffs are going on, but who cares?
Well,
Playoffs are
'cause
going
the
on.
Mavericks didn't make the cut.
boring.
Oh, so sad.
Well,
care
I actually
less. I
like
don't watch
watching the
anything.
playoffs because they actually play somewhat of a defense.
yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
It's when they actually start playing.
yeah, it's
and
when
they
they
actually-
actually start playing.
Actually, start playing team ball, not just one-on-one ball the entire game. They play half a game with team ball.
Yeah.
So-
The crazy thing is the biggest thing that's going on with the playoffs is not actually who's playing who. It's this whole Draymond Green stomping on Sabonis' chest.
I heard about that a little bit. That's all I heard.
But the outrage is not so much that he stepped on his chest. It's the outrage that that Green got suspended.
If you step on a guy's chest, you can
yeah.
get suspended.
Yeah. So I actually,
I mean, DeMar Hamlin is case in point.
yeah. So I actually pulled some audio that I want to play. It's from Stephen A. Smith. Yay.
Oh,
Reputable guy.
Hey, I will say,
I only like him because he
Yeah.
bashes on the Cowboys, and he usually has a lot of funny stuff to say. But he's come out as one of the main proponents of the suspension, and he's on that, what is it, First Take, Fast Take,
first take.
whatever the name of that show is that I don't watch.
First take.
So this is his opinion.
Were you surprised Dre was suspended?
I was not surprised at all, but incredibly disappointed. Let me say this:
In him or the NBA?
the NBA.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in the NBA. Love me some Adam Silver, and we all know this. I'm disgusted with the NBA this morning. I'm sick and tired of everybody acting like this is just another game. It's not just another game. It's a playoff game. You got to do something far more flagrant than this to be suspended. Now, just for the record, I was on the phone with the league office this morning. Their position is clear. It was the excessiveness of the stomp, how demonstrative it was by Draymond Green, and it was also history.
So there we
Guy's
go.
Such a bozo. I
He
can't
is.
stand him.
So the key word is history, and we talked about this in the off-the-cuff stuff.
No doubt. I mean, if he wouldn't have been a punk his whole stinking career,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have got suspended now. Finally.
Yeah.
So I pulled the stats, okay? You ready for this? Since he brought up history. So through 147 playoff games, Green has totaled 6 flagrant fouls, 27 technical fouls, and has paid nearly
27?
27
Yeah, man.
and has
He's-
paid almost $1.3 million in fines. And they're saying that amount could increase once they come out with a fine for this.
All he
It
paid is $1
should.
million
Yeah,
after 27?
after 27.
He should have been paying $1 million after 4.
That's what I'm getting. There's no
Yeah.
accountability.
No, there's not.
Just like we brought up a couple of recordings ago when that girl sucker punched her.
Yeah.
Whenever there's no accountability in sports anymore, and that's what's so sick. Like I'm okay. Like finally take a stand and get people.
Exactly.
Bluff in on people to let them know that this is supposed to be a game of men and not of boys, especially not degenerate.
Well, and that's the thing is he's not the only one. There are, I mean, you can go in and Google Stephen A. Smith disgusted.
Don't give me
And-
I'm not going to go there.
There are tons of reporters and sportscasters that are in the same boat that they're disgusted with the NBA because of the suspension. But you went out and you blatantly stomped on a guy's chest.
I mean, I see why the suspension took place, and I agree that it needed to take place. But you can also see why Draymond stomped, and I'm not saying he has a reason to stomp. But did you watch the play?
Yeah,
How it
yeah.
unfolded?
I've seen this play over and over and over. There's no reason to stomp anybody when they're on the ground
No.
like that. I mean, he stomped
But I
him
will
and then
say the
tried to
guy-
make it look
the
like he
guy
stepped
didn't,
over
like,
him.
Grab his legs too, though. Like the guy, like he was going up, and the guy literally wrapped around his legs, holding him. And I'm not saying you should just stomp a guy, but I may like push back a little in terms.
Yeah,
of,
I mean,
"Get
I
off
can
of me,
understand.
Get off of me, like you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
as
So
well.
I'm watching it right
But-
now. He wasn't holding his leg.
He wrapped around it.
No,
He did.
no. I'm watching it right now. He's falling on the ground and he's collapsing down, and his arms are collapsing around his leg, but he's not holding his leg. He's collapsed down after his
But
other teammate pushed him.
The way he stomped him is like,
That was
Like-
a push.
Yeah.
He's letting him know I'm on top of you right now.
yeah. And then he flails himself to make it look like he tripped over him. Is kind of what it looked like to
Yeah.
me. And I was just like, but Draymond's known for that, though. He's a thug straight up.
No, I don't agree with him at all.
But I mean, because Sabonis, I think they said he had a sternum contusion. Like he was having, he left the game.
It's a bruise.
But he was having trouble breathing.
Yeah, sure.
And so, but I mean, you could have cracked that guy's sternum. You could have broke
250
ribs.
250-pound guy.
His heart.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues that could have happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, just in that aspect, it's the what could have happened. Like you said, with the heart, that I think warrants a suspension.
Oh, easily.
They can't do anything besides that with DeMar Hamlin, man. I'm telling you, they were.
Yeah.
With that happening this year, you can't. With Tua happening this year, you got to take these things like that seriously.
Oh,
I think the best part is though is that the Kings are exposing the Warriors because they're up like 3-0
They're
right
not
now.
exposing the
2-0.
Warriors. It's
2-0.
still-
2-0.
It was still
2 home games for the Kings as well.
the Warriors are what place? 6?
Yeah, the Kings are
Kings
third.
3? Yeah, it's not exposing.
I kind of hope the Kings, just because of that, I want the Kings to win.
Exposing for the casual fan.
So-
I like Curry. I think he's a good player. But
Yeah.
I've always liked the Warriors. I never have been a big fan of Green. I like the intensity in terms of just how he's a team player, but he is a punk in terms
Yeah,
of how he treats
definitely.
other people
He
on
wants
the
to
court.
be Dennis Rodman,
you
but he's
know?
not.
The modern day Dennis Rodman.
they all have to have this identity to try
Yeah,
to be like
bad
that.
boy.
And it's pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like we talked earlier, I've totally lost my appeal to even watch the game anymore.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's just it went political, and that really just tarnished it for me.
And it hasn't ever come
Before
back.
that, it was just a game of flops. Like LeBron is sitting here
James
praised
Harden.
by this stuff,
James Harden.
and he's all he is he needs to get awards at the Oscars, at the Satanist Oscars. Awards, you know? It's
I will say
ridiculous.
there was I wish I would have pulled that picture and brought it and showed it because I saw it earlier before we came up here. But there was a picture of a kid that shook LeBron and then come up later and chest bumped him. He was like, "You can't guard me."
Good.
He called him. Well, he said, "You can't guard me, old man."
Dylan Brooks did that.
Yeah, that's who it was.
He's a punk
so
as well.
funny.
Dylan Brooks is a punk.
I mean, when you do it to LeBron, though, it's funny.
No, I know. Yeah.
That's always, yeah.
NHL.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Stars are number 1, huh?
they are, man. They beat Minnesota the other night.
That's one of the games it's cool in person. It doesn't really translate to television.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
amazing. If you've never been, you need to go to at least one NHL game to see.
Yeah,
And these dudes, we think they're not big dudes. They're skinny dudes going so fast.
yeah.
They're flying.
So the cool thing that's come out. Did you hear about the guy from Winnipeg Jets?
No.
So
Can't say that.
I
No,
haven't
check
got
this-
my
Watch
Winnipeg,
hockey.
Let me
article
check
yet.
my NHL news.
Check this out. So there
Oh,
was
sorry, no.
there's a center for the Winnipeg Jets named Morgan Barron. Took a skate to the face.
Oh, ouch.
Got 75 plus stitches.
Ouch.
All right, that's not even the cool part.
How did it happen?
There were fighting for a loose puck. That was close to the net. He
So-
fell.
Fighting, like they're actually fighting.
Well, it's like
hockey?
No,
a
no, no,
scrum
no,
type
no,
thing.
no, no.
But when he fell, his face kind of just went down the skate of the goalie,
Oh, and they're sharp, man.
and so he's 24 years old.
He's not wearing a closed mask.
That's not a requirement.
They just wear a visor. They just wear
Yeah, and he wasn't even wearing a visor.
Really?
Yeah,
He was just wearing a
Typically,
regular
you have
helmet.
a visor. I mean,
you get a choice. It's basically player choice on how you want to do
wow,
it.
I didn't know that.
So he left the game.
Made the wrong choice.
I bet it changes.
Yeah.
So I was actually sitting at home and I got an alert that he took a skate to the face. So I flipped over to the game
Ooh.
and so I was like, I want to
Ouch.
see this.
Blood gushing everywhere, huh?
Yeah. So he left the game at 10:40 with 10 minutes 43 seconds left in the first period. The greatest part is I'm sitting there and like I had turned off the game and then I had kind of flipped through. Well, I heard this like erupting as I'm turning. 13 minutes 24 seconds left in the game. The dude emerges from the tunnel,
Oh, yeah.
Scarf.
new helmet,
Wow.
new
With a
jersey.
visor.
No, still no visor. And you're thinking, okay, he's coming out and sitting on the bench. All of a sudden, they yell line change, and this dude opens the gate and he's gone. I'm like, what the heck?
Good for him, man.
So
Hey, that is hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, what a transition. We go to basketball
Yeah.
to hockey.
They're going to spit teeth out and still play.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
So the funniest part about all that is he got interviewed after the game. They were asking about, how it happened, how that, and he told the reporters, the injury wasn't as bad as it looked. Medical staff did a good job fixing me up and getting me out there.
Says the plastic.
It
surgeon.
wasn't as bad as it looked, dude. You got 75 stitches and it took him half the game to do it.
Hey, what a staff, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he did give him props. But that's good.
But man, and I thought he was gonna get out there and just kind of like gingerly, just kind of like, no, dude, he was pinning people up against the glass.
Well, I remember watching whenever Kobe like dislocated his finger, and he went over, and that doctor just kind of like tapped him on the shoulder, grabbed his finger, and just popped it, and then Kobe just turned around and went right back out there. You know, like I kind of, but that's on a whole different level, right?
That's something because I mean, it basically from the way the stitches looked, I mean, it was inches from the corner of his eye.
Ouch.
Well, you know, those doctors that did it probably weren't plastic surgeons, so it probably looks like a meat flap. You know?
Yeah. He's
I'm surprised that they don't require those cage helmets anymore, just for safety.
That it's like I said, it's player choice. I mean, you could go out there with just a regular helmet, the old school style.
If they're wanting to improve the safety of the game,
They don't. That's hockey. They don't.
It's it's hockey,
man,
dude.
But man,
That is hockey.
have you seen
For
the
a long
one where the
time.
guy cut his throat and almost died,
Yeah.
and like blood was just pouring out?
Yeah.
I feel like they should have like a neck guard and the face guard.
They've had that. They've
just for the
had like
safety of the game.
guys almost lose eyes because they're battling out and a stick catches them.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
And I
the
mean, even if they got,
cage-
because you know, have you ever seen like the end of a professional hockey stick? They like tape it up, and then it looks like they take a roll of tape and stick it on the top, and then tape that.
rubber tip on there.
Yeah.
Tape on there.
And I mean, they're still cocking people in the eye with it, and I'm like, you could lose an eye that way. So, but
Yeah, but NHL has always been different, especially when all the wokeness and activism was hitting.
Yep.
NHL was kind of standing
They
alone.
did a little bit.
yeah, they
No,
did
for a long time.
for a long time.
They stood their
They
own
did.
ground, and like you look at they wore
they're players.
nothing for a long. They didn't even wear helmets.
Till this last
for a
thing came
long
through, and then
time.
they had the
Yeah,
the
They
guy
were one
with
of
the
the
jersey
last-
issue.
They were one of the last ones to come through, and then there was that Christian that they were trying to force to wear that rainbow
Yep.
jersey or
Yeah.
white jersey, but he stood alone. And
Yeah.
I think,
but I mean, that is something though. Like when everybody else, like during the Colin Kaepernick age, everybody was following along with that. NHL didn't follow along with that. NHL was telling their players, "You stand or you don't play."
Yep.
oh yeah,
And that's
Half
the crazy
teams
part
are
about
Canadian anyhow.
Contrary
Yeah, I know, right?
They don't care. That's not
Contrary
their
to the
country.
MLB, which we'll talk about next, which the Rangers are in first place.
12-6, leading the AL West.
Go Rangers.
that.
So the important thing
They
is,
just whooped the Astros.
I looked up tickets. If we want to go to a game and sit in the all-you-can-eat section, it's $60.
It's less than that, isn't it?
Probably
It's not-
Groupon.
$60 ain't bad anyhow.
See, if you go Tuesday, it's like cheaper than that.
It might
Oh,
be.
I can't go on a Tuesday.
We're gonna have to
though.
go one day, guys.
I was looking at it on a
It's
Saturday
some
though.
research.
And then $50 a
That's some
park.
research. Yeah, exactly.
And that's why you park way down in the ghetto in the $2 parking and then walk up.
Is there a ghetto in Arlington?
Oh, Arlington's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, where you don't park. That's too far away. That's like 5 miles away.
No, I'm saying that because when Stephanie and I first went to a Rangers game, when we couldn't find parking, she was like, "Well, there's parking." I'm like, "That's somebody's front yard, and they got a cardboard sign with $2 parked on it." I'm like, "Nope, not parking
I don't
there."
trust that. You're gonna be gone by the time you get
Come back sitting on center blocks.
If you enjoy walking, you can always park at Six Flags.
Oh yeah,
Then
we did
walk
that
up
too.
there. That's what I used to do. It's
Yeah.
a longer walk because it used to be right beside Six Flags. Now you got to go around old
Yeah.
Globe Life or whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's XL.
Globe Life
XFL.
Field and Globe Life Park.
Whatever the XFL is. Yeah, Rangers been doing great.
Yeah.
The pitcher they brought in to is that his name?
Yeah, Jacob DeGrom.
Man,
Man, he's
Solid.
doing phenomenal.
that's something the Rangers have needed for a long time.
In
is
fact,
pitching.
he's pitching on Tuesday.
Yeah.
They got a thing that he struck out 9 in a row last time.
Wow.
If you buy the tickets on the site and put in the name, they load up a $9 credit on the ticket. So you
Oh,
can get
nice.
Stuff. Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
cool.
rock and
That's
roll.
I
cool.
love that.
Have you
That's
seen
fun.
the Texas Rangers City
Of course, a
Connection
hot dog
uniforms?
costs $50, so you got
Oh, of
that.
course.
This is a half
Yeah.
hot dog.
Yeah, but there's one that's like 2.5 foot long. So
Yeah, the
I'm
sling
What'd you say,
like,
DJ?
the
I'll
home
pay
run dog or
50.
something.
Yeah.
Sorry about
The,
that.
the-
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
We're talking food, so
Man, making me hungry.
I mean, I'm a fat guy. I'm in on the food, so. But no, the Texas Rangers have come out with like this City Connection uniform.
yeah.
It's pretty.
the black and white one.
Yeah, those are pretty
Yeah,
awesome
not
looking.
bad.
I just
Give
want
me-
the hat.
Give me the classics. Give me that red hat,
Oh, that
white
like
uniform, or the baby
1970s
blues. Either one.
No, that's a baby blue one.
70s is the baby blue.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
the red hats though, just the
It's the
regular
ones I grew up with.
2000s.
This has nothing to do with anything, but I just watched a
Why are we
video
surprised?
on the top 5 honorary pitches. You know, the person that goes out and throws the first pitch. of the
Oh
game.
yeah, are you talking
So
about Nolan Ryan?
Nolan Ryan was number 5,
yes.
and Ichiro was number 1.
Wow,
Isn't that cool?
that's cool.
I
He
love
was in like
Ichiro.
full uniform too. He got out there and threw like 90-something miles.
Dude,
an hour.
when Nolan Ryan did, I think he was like 62.
75.
75?
Oh, you're talking about how fast?
No, he was
How old?
62.
He threw it 75
62
miles an
years
hour.
old, and he
Wow.
threw it at 75.
75.
That's nuts.
All you see is like, shoo.
And all of them, it was showing.
They don't know
was
how
like
old
right
Ichiro
there.
is. He won't tell them.
Yeah.
Ichiro won't tell them.
He won't tell him how old he is.
There's nothing recorded.
Yeah.
He didn't come over with a birth certificate. Okay, Obama. All right.
What?
We've already shifted to conspiracy. No, I'm just kidding.
This will be black helicopters sitting outside, just waiting on us. But
They're
yeah,
waiting
so
on you, DJ. They're ready for you. They
what did I
want you.
do?
They want you.
They're hacking you already.
Probably.
How about the Rangers, though? That's good. I'm glad about that. Good for
Yeah,
them.
it's been a long time since they've had a good pitching
Like
rotation.
I said, I only know DeGrom. That's the only person I know
Well,
the whole team.
That's all you need to know.
For a long
How
time,
long it's been.
a lot of the good pitchers were in good climates or ACs.
Yeah.
Now we finally got an AC.
I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm just like to see when they win.
That's the exact definition of a fair weather fan.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, I mean, and to that
Because
point, I mean,
baseball is
because
slow. The clock has helped.
yeah,
Yes.
and to Brett's point, I mean, that's always been the thing is nobody wants to come play for Texas because it was 109,000 degree
Last
outside.
time we went to the ball game, me and Quentin sat in center field, and it was 500 degrees.
It's
and
miserable.
And then even hotter.
Beltray hit a triple right below our feet in center field, and that's what won him the game. And that was his 12th birthday.
Something like that.
That was a long time
It was hot.
ago.
That's all I
Beltray was
remember.
12.
It was hot. We played ball games.
That's
That was
cool.
12 years ago because you're 24 now.
Beltray's been playing baseball since he was 6.
Yeah, that's awesome. It
Well,
was
Beltray's
over
one
his
of those- another one of those guys that don't know his age either.
correct.
From the Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic.
How old are you? I don't know. Last time I
Yes.
checked, let me count.
Yes. But yeah, so it'll be exciting to see, where they go with it if they can keep it up.
Yeah. Well, they need somebody like Beltray.
Yeah.
That's just a glue guy. He was the team, man. They talk
Yeah.
about the other guys that were on that team, but he was the man.
I always like Michael Young and Josh Hamilton.
Yeah.
David Murphy, baby.
Oh, I hated David Murphy. I don't know why.
Left-handed.
He's good.
He'd
I don't know
always-
why,
he'd
but I
always get you
hated
that
him.
one blooper in between infield and outfield, and he'd always get you that one RBI.
He was
that at
always-
the end of the game is just going to win you the game
Texas
somehow or
leaguer.
something.
Yeah, he's always good for that one hit, but then the rest of the time he either strikes out or flies out.
Hey,
But he was a pro.
Yeah, there's that.
He was part of the team.
So,
Made some cash.
whatever happened to the old manager? What's his name?
Bobby Valentine?
Washington.
Washington.
Ron
Yeah,
Washington, he got caught in a scandal.
I knew he got caught in the
He got
scam. Is he?
hired. He's working
He's back
for
in
another team.
baseball.
Is he?
somewhere.
I think he's a head coach somewhere.
There's
if I'm not
another thing that just
mistaken.
came up on my I got a little
Bijan?
ESPN thing. Robinson, too good to ignore. I guess that's probably the article. They were advertised
is.
article.
He's a third base coach for the Atlanta Braves.
There you go.
Ooh, how the
Braves.
mighty have fallen.
Nah, the Braves are good. Third base coaches.
I'm talking about general manager though, because he was general manager or not the manager, like whatever you call the coach in baseball.
the manager.
Manager.
Yeah,
Correct.
he was manager,
Yeah, that's,
For when,
and now he's third base
Yeah.
coach.
that's one position down.
Ugh.
Doing what he did, that's pretty amazing to get me back there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Man,
Braves
if you
any
go
good?
back to the Rangers, though, in
Braves are
2010
always good.
and 11, though, golly, we were so
Did the
good.
Braves win it 2 years ago?
Was it? Yeah, maybe.
2 or 3?
It wasn't very long ago they won it.
I know the
It was
Astros
recent.
have won a
It was
couple.
recent.
You don't know, sir.
More recent than the Rangers have
Yeah.
won it.
That's
never.
exactly right.
Never.
Yeah.
So there you go.
If
Been in it.
there. They danced there.
yeah,
They danced there.
2
Dude, that-
years back
Twice.
to back.
that was such a those were 2 disappointing years.
The
That was
Giants,
so
The
sad.
Giants
That's
and
the
the Cardinals.
Beltray years. The Beltray years, dude. That's it.
Nelson
But also
Cruz.
Michael Young,
Yeah. Oh, Nelson
Josh
Cruz too.
Hamilton. Josh Hamilton, when he was hitting those homers, dude, he was so good.
And then that home run derby he had
When at
when
New
he
York,
crushed like
in New York,
70s, and then he didn't win it
yeah,
because he didn't hit his
The final
because
round.
he tired himself out. He performed in the first round, second
Yeah.
round, whatever it was.
It's like, yeah, take it easy the first round. Then
Jeez, you kidding me?
that's when I was really in tune with baseball. But
yeah, me
It was
too.
fun. It was exciting because we had something to cheer
Yeah.
about. So you had some,
So
a
y'all are
reason-
saying y'all are fair weather fans too, right?
Exactly.
I am.
Exactly. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I am.
I hate baseball when it's hot outside, but I like watching it inside for when the Rangers do good.
Yeah. yeah. So let's take a show trip so we can go check out the new stadium for research and test the food for research.
Heck yeah, that's the most important part.
Let's record it on site just for a second there, right?
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Do a little
Do our own episode. Of
iPhone recording there.
Take all of our stuff and set it up. And they're like, "What are you doing? We're doing a
Set up in the
podcast."
press.
Too high.
In the press box.
Oh
high,
yeah,
too
we can get
high.
little tags that
Yes.
says Church Guys
I love
Media,
it, dude.
Church Guys Media LLC.
I'll let our
Y'all
IT
don't get
guy
that,
look
do you?
into that.
Y'all don't get that. Y'all are sad if you don't get that.
I don't get that one.
Too high. Major League.
from the paint.
The next Friday, maybe.
Major League.
Snoop Dogg. Major League? Oh, that was a good movie. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Inappropriate reference.
Yeah, very inappropriate reference. We are called the church guys, sir.
Hats.
You are a master at that. And speaking of the Masters, how about my fight in Texas? Aggie finishing number 16?
16th.
16th.
Hey, I was rooting for him, man.
He was. I wouldn't have cared if he was a Longhorn or not. That is
That
impressive.
was cool.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
Cool.
impressive, man.
Yeah.
I love
Coming out
him.
as an amateur, dominant. Because every other amateur was like cut.
Oh yeah, they were way down there.
6 over, 7 over.
It was
They're
not
way
even
down
close.
there.
And then he finished two under. I think. is
2
what we said.
under official score.
Man, that's awesome. Be playing the last day. Whew, that's
He
great.
shot, I think, 8 under the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he was-
combined. You know what I'm saying?
was
Like 4 under,
unconscious.
4 under
Yeah.
in the second to last group.
The
in
hole
third
was a foot
round.
wide, and he was making putts.
I think
and
the rain kind of messed with his rhythm a little bit as well, but also the course got harder. And
everything.
Man, they had some
Trees.
crazy.
Hey, Trumpets fell on him.
They had some crazy weather.
it was wild.
We're fixing to get some here later.
I know. That's the scary part.
But yeah, I mean, I respect any kind of golfer. I don't care what Oklahoma, A&M.
It really doesn't matter,
Dude.
man. When you can perform like that.
that was awesome.
I
I
only
was
got-
rooting for
I
him.
only got one Oklahoma golfer, a young guy that goes to church camp with us, Jace Summy. He won his first tournament, Purdue. He won the Purdue Open up there.
Oh,
the Boilermaker
cool.
oh,
Open.
nice.
He goes to
As a
Oklahoma.
freshman.
So
That's
as
really
a freshman.
I'm not glad he went to Oklahoma.
Wow.
We tried to get him to go to Texas. We got him so close. Man. He decided to go to Oklahoma.
neat. Thank God. Praise the Lord. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Jace,
I'm ready to come down to Austin, bro. Instead of Oklahoma.
Jace is a great young man. And he's going to do great things. So
Well, that's awesome.
He's shining
That's
his light.
How did
there.
Spieth do?
He got like
Fifth,
top
sixth?
5th or something. Yeah.
Really?
He's
Heck
playing
yeah.
good. And last tournament, the RBC Heritage, he went to playoff and lost.
Yeah, I mean,
the
I
third
saw that
hole.
one.
It was a good playoff.
Yeah, that was a good
but,
one.
Phil Mickelson.
Dude, he got second. He got
Yeah,
second,
man.
man.
shout out for the old guy.
He's living it up, man.
That's
on the Live Golf Tour.
Good old
All you-
right-minded left-hander. That was pretty cool, man.
That's nuts. You know, the payout for first place for the Masters was over $3 million.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they've increased for all the big tournaments. They've increased. Quickly transition to Brett's
Conspiracy
segment.
Corner.
Conspiracy Corner. All right. So the biggest thing I think we can talk about right now is how the downfall of the dollar is hitting just so hard. So now I think it's actually more than 8 countries, but that was just the last I pulled up. 8 countries have moved away from using the dollar. And what are they going to? Drum roll. The yen. The Chinese yen. I wonder why that is. That sure is convenient right after Russia and China just made their little peace treaty.
Yeah.
So what's going on after this? After the mighty dollar has fallen? Well, they are absolutely talking about the dollar going digital. It's been talked about
Of course.
a bunch within our own government. If you just put dollar going digital, the very top thing that pulls up, and I know it's the internet, right? But a U.S. central bank digital currency, a CBDC, will be the digital or electric form of the dollar. That's how it's described. That's not like is in consideration for the dollar. It says will be and is regulated by the government. Welcome to the end.
Yeah,
If
that's
this goes
nuts.
through. This goes back to those smart tattoos that I was just
Yeah.
talking about, or whatever the case is. That now it can be control of that, and then if they are in control of that, they can control what's your credits that you have. So now you don't have any more of your bank account and all that kind of stuff. It's all controlled and regulated by the government.
Well, that's like we were talking about earlier, with the devaluation of the dollar. I read an article after you told me what you were going to talk about that they were saying that, and it's not like something that's going to happen over the next decade. It's something that's going to happen over the next 3 to 5 years. Is that the devaluation of the dollar can be anywhere from 40 to 47%. So at that point, I mean, it's going to be even more worthless than what it is now. So
It's going down
More
fast.
worthless?
yeah, more worthless.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we pretend that it is worth something, but
It's only worth what they say it's worth.
Yeah.
that's exactly. And we pretended it, and that's why it is. And we just said it is, and it just printed off more money. Oh, by the way, we're also funding all the pensions of the people in Ukraine.
Yep.
And
Pensions. Wow.
pensions, bro, pensions.
Not
But
pictures.
not ours. But not ours.
Not ours. And don't think we're also taking care of our veterans or
Yeah.
any of our issues here. We still have a wide open border that's
Yeah.
bringing in nothing but fentanyl. Man, it's almost like all this stuff is planned.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's all
Almost.
planned by these elites that are just trying to take out the working middle class.
Well, it's what
Especially-
it is they're just trying to take down America.
Oh yeah.
They've been doing it for years. They've been trying to see it through colleges and trying to get people to hate America, and they've succeeded.
Yeah.
And now it's just easy.
Well, in Revelations 13:17 says he provides that no one will be able to buy or to sell except the one who has the mark, either in the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's what I was getting at with the tattoo and all that kind of stuff. Like I think it's a good opportunity for it to be coming. But another thing that's kind of related to that end time stuff is I just read about the red heifers. Me and Quentin talked about this the other day. The red heifers, we mentioned it last year on one of our episodes.
Yep.
And they will be ready and prepared next year. So that'll be about Passover next year. They said they'll be ready for the sacrifice at the
Well,
temple,
with
even
the
though they haven't got it
Passover?
built.
Now think about it again. I said this a while ago.
They get the ark.
Think of what's happening with the sky next April.
The eclipse.
We get to have a total eclipse here in Edgewood, Texas. Is the center of totality.
Yes.
How awesome!
Yeah.
is
Bible
that?
Belt.
Really?
The Bible Belt.
Is that all? Is that where it's going to begin?
is
Is Edgewood,
the-
Texas?
It is the Bible
We're gonna
Belt.
have people. It goes across the United States, but it comes right through.
That's
right over
pretty
my
awesome.
house.
Texas.
Right over my house.
It's
Our house is.
literally-
It's really amazing, especially since the earth is flat, Clint Smith. That this is just fake and nothing is even happening.
Man, you're harsh calling him out like that, dude.
I
Hey, that's
told
the
him I would
second
this
time.
morning.
That's the second
Tough
time he's
love,
called
tough
him out.
love, right?
Man.
Flat earthers get a clue.
Maybe if you keep calling him out in a public forum, he'll eventually.
He has to be on there, and I was like, no, we only have.
I mean,
so
you
much
know,
room.
he's right. I mean, they talk about going to the edge of the earth all the time. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, they almost did with the explosion of SpaceX this morning.
Just like
It
with
was-
the edge of my eye, right?
Right.
Or the corner of my. It's in the corner of my. I can see out the corner of my eye. Yeah, it's round. How can I have a corner in your eye? Come on.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Talk
It's
about
like,
conspiracy corner. There it is, right there.
We'll get Stephanie on to explain the biology of the eye. She's good at that.
Round. That's all I got to know.
well, so there. I mean, I did like the SpaceX thing. They called it a successful failure. It did launch. It was the biggest, most powerful rocket that's ever been launched.
It is awesome.
And it did clear. It took off. It flew for 2 minutes.
yeah.
And then I heard why it exploded was there's a self-destruction mechanism built in
Yeah.
for whenever it gets whatever, because it was unmanned, obviously.
Yeah.
And then so then they'll whenever that falls down, they go pick it up, recycle it, reuse
Yeah.
it, put it to use.
Because they don't want nobody else to get that technology.
But that's supposed to be going back to the moon. I will go with a conspiracy theory on this. That's supposed to go to the moon. And if you ask a lot of these scientists, they're like, well, we lost the technology to go to the moon. Also, I still can't get service on the way out to this church sometimes. But the president was able to talk to the crew on the moon on a landline whenever they did land on the moon. Isn't
I
that
think we went to the moon.
I don't. I think we were in a Cold War
Hey, man,
race.
I saw Barnaby Jones talk on a phone in his car back in the 70s.
Barnaby.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly. Look it up on YouTube. Barnaby Jones and Jim Cannon had car phones back then. If they can do that, they can talk to the moon.
So there's I like.
It's called a radio interface.
I like looking at a lot of videos. There's several about Neil Armstrong. They're going up to him, and there's a guy that's like, "Here's a Bible. I just want you to put your hand on it, and just promise on the Bible that you actually went to the moon." And he was like, "No, I don't even know if that's a real Bible. I don't know if that was." And he's like, "Look, I also have $5,000 you can take, or you can donate to any charity. All I want you to do is just say that you went to the moon." He never did. Same thing with Buzz Aldrin. Buzz was even more agitated and was pushing back on him. They are there's
But you gotta
one
know
on
how
Johnny
many of these
Carson.
people come up to him, though. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
know there's a bajillion of people that they get tired of it.
To a point, but there's just a lot of videos out there.
It's kind of like athletes when they go, go through autograph and go, okay, you're in the middle of the meal. Let them eat their meal in peace.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy
Yeah.
life. And it's like, come
So
on.
they're also at conferences where you're going to get paid, and they still didn't do it. So I don't think that's the reason. But like he's on Johnny Carson, and no, it's not Johnny Carson. It was actually recent.
Yeah, that'd be a dead one to do.
It was I can't
Jimmy
remember.
Kimmel or Jimmy
Project
Fallon?
Bluebeam.
Stinks
It
by
might have been
now.
like Conan for all I can
Oh,
remember right
it's
now.
probably Conan.
So he's sitting here talking, and they're like, "Well, I remember watching videos of you landing on me." He goes, "No, you didn't. You didn't watch that. That was an animation." We didn't have videos up there. That was him talking in the seat on TV. So, yes, I believe that the government lies. I think that
Oh,
we
no,
were,
no,
yeah,
no.
we're not
That's a
denying
different
that.
subject. That's a
Now
different
I think we're all on a page.
propaganda.
But-
Now
Come
you're
on. You can't say
obviously
that.
the government
That's not in
lies.
the
I
same,
can't. I just did.
That's not in the same thing,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's not the same ballpark.
Okay. Let me lead up, Mr. Longhorn.
So what
I'm
about
saying
the
is,
Twin
I wanna
I know
rebuttal
that the
this.
Did the government
government
do the
lies.
Twin
Hang on a
Towers, too?
second.
Yeah.
The government
They put the
lies,
planes
and we're
right in the middle of 'em.
Excuse me, preacher.
Yeah.
We're in a Cold War race with Russia. They're kicking our tails, and all we can do is put together movie studios.
I got a question for
We
you,
beat
Brett.
'em.
Why did Russia congratulate America for going to the moon? Why did they not come out and say, you faked this?
I think they did.
No, they came out
I think
and
there's lots of stuff
congratulated.
that says that they did.
They came out and congratulated and said, way to go for landing on the
Vladimir
moon.
Sure.
Putin said
That
that when he was
happens.
riding his horse with no shirt on.
But also, I will have to say, you have to put more work into faking the moon landing than you do actually having to go to the
Yep.
moon. It's actually harder to
You know,
fake it than actually go to because you have to fake all the documents. You have to fake the building of the rocket. They actually
All the
launched the
people at
rocket. The
NASA.
rocket actually did launch. Like, that was real.
I'm not denying that.
So I had to actually waste money just to build this rocket just to say you did go to the moon.
Yes.
And then they also didn't have the technology that we have in terms of the video production. I'm not saying to go to the moon,
You
but
know,
on the video
Thank you
production.
for saying video production.
It would be a heck of a lot easier to do it today than it would be then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
If today,
I mean, there's
absolutely.
deepfakes. I mean, I watched some cats dunking basketballs, okay? And I go, well, that's
Yes.
cool looking, man. And I
That's
go,
not
I quit.
real.
That's not
That's-
nah, man.
So it was a Hollywood director that was on staff at NASA. Why would you pull in a director or producer to come into NASA? Because it was production.
Maybe to
Now,
tell them
have
you
we
need
been
to
to
set the
Stave?
cameras
Yes.
here, here, and here on the rocket and on the lander so we can get a good shot of
don't
them
know.
actually stepping out.
No,
I don't know.
That's
I'm not.
foolish.
That's
I know you're going to absurdity. So what I'm
says
talking
the one
about
that
is
says the moon landing is fake,
this is conspiracy corner.
and I'm.
He's supposed to be the proponent of the conspiracy.
This is what I'm supposed to. I'm doing my job. You stay in your lane, bro.
Sometimes your
'cause I'm
conspiracies
proving
are
you
out of this
wrong.
world, dude.
Ah,
I didn't hear what you said.
Sometimes your conspiracies are out of this world.
Or
Can't
not
get
because
past
it was
it.
in a studio. It was produced. All right, so what was my other thing I was going to talk
Yeah,
about?
it's,
I got it.
Oh.
I can't remember my second one now.
I think-
Israel removing Christian artifacts.
Oh, Israel. God bless. There was a ton of. So we talked about this before, and there was a bill that was proposed by Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet to stop the Christian movement, pretty much. If you were out there and you were talking about Jesus, you could be arrested. If you had any symbolism about Jesus, you could be arrested. Evidently, he stopped it, potentially, or that's what he said. But there's tons of videos coming out showing that whoever they are, the police or the military, whoever it is,
Palestinians.
Israel. They are going around pulling all of these crosses and stuff off of the marketplaces. They're going around. There's these Jewish people that's walking by these nuns or whatever, and they just spit on them. And there's an Israeli cop just like, yeah, good job. Kind of like almost congratulating them. So the persecution is ramping up big time. Not too long ago, there was, just a mass. It's every day over there. I get it. We don't understand the privilege that we have to being in the United States. But even with despite our administration's best efforts, we still live in a great nation. And they deal with this junk every day. Matter of fact, on one of my calls last night, a guy was from Israel
Okay.
that I asked him about some of this stuff, and he was like, my family actually lives there, and yes, they are 100% going after Christians. He was a Christian.
How about
Mm.
So that's kind of rare to find,
Messianic Jew?
I think so. Because he had not just crosses, but empty crosses. Usually you'll see crosses with Jesus still on it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, that ain't quite right. Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
But it's going down pretty good. It seems like it's setting up for a pretty good end times thing because we are promised tribulation.
Yep.
We are promised that.
You should expect it.
We
You should
are
expect it.
we are also promised to be saved from God's wrath. Now, when that kicks into play, that's a question whenever we got to do a Bible study together and look at all the things that are supposed to happen for that. But it's lining up pretty good. That's pretty scary, but it's exciting to see that our scripture is just day in, day out, just proved over and over again to be true.
Absolutely.
It's God's word, and it stands alone above anything else. Just because of historical and archaeological, all these all these proofs are just continually to say, yeah, the Bible's true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, that's
Especially after celebrating Easter last week, which was huge.
yes.
Big
So
time.
speaking of Easter, I have a biblical topic we're going to transfer to.
Hit it.
You all know that I have been a big fan of Mike Todd, right? The guy in Oklahoma, the preacher I've told you about.
Unfortunately.
You were a big
That's
fan.
the guy?
That's the guy.
No way, that's
Tran-
the guy.
No,
Trans-
that's the guy.
The
Trans-
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Oh my word!
It's
I saw
Transformation
that.
Church.
Oh, that's the guy you've been telling us about.
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I'm glad I didn't look at him.
So for those of you that don't know,
Yeah.
this church put
I'm
on.
glad you disavowed him last week. Before this week.
Yeah, me too. For those of you who don't know, Mike Todd he has an incredible story on how he became saved and became a pastor, but all that has gone for naught because wokeness has entered his church.
Nah, it was a wokeness.
It was something. It was
demonic.
Well, here's the thing:
absolutely.
is and on that somebody actually
Satanistic would be the word. I
somebody had come out
Crazy.
and
like the Oscars.
you mean the Grammys?
Same difference.
Well,
No,
on
I'm-
that,
oh.
so somebody, I watched a video of, I forget who it was. He was some pastor that I randomly was looking at stuff for today,
Yeah.
and he had talked about that Mike Todd had come out and spoke out against what the Grammys did, and then turned around and put on a Grammy-esque
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
performance.
Oh yeah.
And something that I didn't notice because I like skimmed through the videos and it made me nauseous, so I just kept right on going, is something that he pointed out is in one of their songs, it's supposed to be imitating like the devil dancing in hell. There's flames going. I mean, it's a mass production.
Yeah.
But there's like flames shooting up everywhere. There's this woman in like black leather suit with like feathers all over her saying she's the dragon. And behind them, you see a cross with somebody hanging. There's not light on it, so you can't really see. But
yeah.
at one point, she passes by and there is a woman hanging on the cross. Oh, wait, it gets better. In her song, some of the lyrics, you hear her say that I've got the princess who offers life.
Wow.
It is so
That's,
blasphemous.
But see, that's more than wokeness.
That is devilish.
Yeah,
That's not just woke.
Satanism. It's Satanism.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and the crazy part was, we were talking about earlier before we started recording, is he came out on stage before the sermon, and the very first thing he said, since I've become a preacher or a pastor, I have never preached an Easter service,
Right.
and I'm not going to start now.
Yeah.
And he said that they wanted to put on a production that would reach the lost. He was like, I didn't want to reach Christians because y'all are already on the team. You're nothing but cheerleaders. He's like, I wanted to reach those that are not saved.
That's what Easter's about. It's not about-
Exactly.
you're not going to reach the lost with
Secularism.
yeah, whatever that
So-
was.
He also said,
I
I
saw a
wanted
clip
this thing to be
of one.
pushed as close to sin as possible
Yep.
to reach them. And I
Yes,
said,
I
this
heard that. I
is
was
sin.
going,
This is sin.
What?
I want to
Yeah,
get so
it
close
was-
to sinning as much as possible without
weren't-
sinning. I was like, this
I
is
want to
sin.
look at
drawing
like,
people
the
to
world.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Miss that in second hesitations.
So it was,
It was so
I-
off base.
yeah.
There you go.
I went and
again.
unsubscribed from everything that he's done.
Yeah.
You got to question the
Well,
salvation.
And that's like we talked about last
Man.
time, is that's when I started questioning, like, because he started talking about equality and equity and
Whether
like he was-
homosexuality is right or wrong.
Yeah,
He says
and
the
then-
Bible doesn't tell us. So
yeah. And then he was asked
does.
if like a transgender person would approach him for a job, if he would hire him, for ministry. And he's like, absolutely. Okay. So I'm done with you, sir.
Pretty crazy.
I was floored. I mean, I guess I shouldn't have been after that sermon I saw before Easter, but then that Easter sermon just
Yeah, that was.
it's
I saw it on several different people's things that I follow, and I was going.
I will say
Well,
this.
Tulsa. I said Tulsa. I said I wonder if that's the same guy that DJ
That
was
was the
talking
same
to us
guy.
about.
Same
And,
guy.
Whoa.
I will tell you something. It's you've crossed the line when the liberal media picks up on it and goes, "Okay, that crossed the line. You're in a church." Because there was actually somebody on, I forget what news channel, they were talking about it, and everybody was
But
outraged.
speaking of Brett's thing a while ago, Jesus said, Scripture says that there will come a time when they will not endure sound doctrine, but will heap upon themselves teachers having itching ears or wanting their ears scratched. What does that mean? That means that they have a need and they want to feel better about their issue over here, and so they're going to have some talk about it or whatever else. The Bible doesn't.
Titillation.
It's
Yeah.
that's not the word I was going to use, but whatever.
Well, I mean, that's an accurate word.
The Bible doesn't want us to pet us.
Yeah.
The Bible wants to show us where we're wrong and call us to Jesus. to be conformed to his
It's
likeness.
a sword.
And so that's the problem today is that we want to try to, well, we're going to reach people by looking like them. Oh, hold on. Maybe the Bible's about us showing people that there's a different way. The way of salvation is different. There's a way that seems not right, seems right to the man. Those are of the ways of death is what the right of man is. And so narrow is the way that leads to life. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. The way of the Lord is different.
Absolutely.
And so it's not that we're not trying to reach people. We are trying to reach people with the gospel that changes us.
Yep.
And time again, God tells you to look different than the world.
Yes.
From the very start. That's why
Easily.
he had all those
And
laws.
So for a quote unquote church, and I said that because any place like that is not a church.
Yeah.
And if you are going to a church that does that or is like that, run.
Yeah,
Run.
absolutely.
Run out.
Yep.
Because that is not the truth. A true church will be grounded in the word and will be directed by the word. And we're not worshiping the word, but the word points you to Jesus.
That's
You
right.
cannot know Jesus without the word.
Absolutely.
And so to see that, I was going, oh, I saw the clips. I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw clips. I was going,
Yeah,
I never
it was.
saw that on the cross. I
Yeah,
never saw
you had
the
to-
words, but I was
It
going,
looked like halftime at Super Bowl.
well,
Yeah,
it was
well,
worse.
Or
There was
the-
somebody
or the
who-
Oscars or Grammys. Or
I saw somebody like what they call it, stitching it when you're in TikTok and you respond
Yeah.
to somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't do TikTok, so I don't know what it's called, but this person was like, "I'm not a Christian." I thought that was a Beyonce concert.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what.
It might have been worse than a Beyonce
Oh,
concert.
yeah.
I mean, probably not as much nudity, but everything else was
I mean,
like straight up the same thing.
They were
They
still
did
doing a
stuff
lot of the
about-
same movements.
Yeah,
They were talking about like twerking though and all that
Oh,
kind
he
of
was
stuff.
Yeah.
twerking for the Lord. I heard him say that.
Yeah.
And I was going, what in the world? You're not helping people.
and you may have heard my dad say this. My dad used to say it all the time. Is like, just because you want to reach people and you want to reach them at home doesn't mean if they're an alcoholic, you follow them to a bar and give them the gospel.
No, exactly.
Yep.
And that's the thing too. And I'll say this as well. I hear a lot of people say this. Well, Jesus would go into the bar. No.
No, he wouldn't.
Jesus would stand out the bar waiting for you to come out. But he would not go in.
Yeah.
He did not. He ate with sinners, but he didn't participate in their ungodly stuff. He did no sin. He had no sinful thoughts. He had no sinful ways. And the
For
Bible
sure
the,
wouldn't lead.
the Old
people to
Testament
sin.
speaks
Yeah.
about wine being a mocker. And so with those kind of things, drunkenness, speak about against drunkenness, and what do you do in those things? And so the situation is pretty plain and simple. Jesus would not, because in America, this is where it is too. In America, Christians are viewed by non-Christians for the most part as should not be, or at least in the South. Let's put that in the South. Most people say, well, Christians shouldn't drink. They're going to throw it back in your face right first if you're
Yep.
going there.
Yeah.
And so the issue is not whether I can, it's whether I should.
And there's
so-
always argument with Jesus' first miracle turning.
But did they have?
into
They didn't
wine.
have Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
They
There's
didn't
that.
have those.
Well, it's like
they didn't have refrigeration to preserve things.
it's like what's his name, Matt Chandler.
Yeah.
You've heard some of his sermons where he comes out where him and his wife. He'll say that him and his wife like to sit down every once in a while, and every once a night, have a glass of wine or something like that. And I'm like, he said that behind the pulpit.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people that talk about the antioxidants and stuff like that you get from wine.
And
Alcohol
grape juice.
is a poison, and it doesn't matter what shape it is. It always attacks your liver. That's just biology.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
you're saying that, DJ? The winemakers. Because the same antioxidants are in grape
Yep.
juice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that what did Jesus make?
What is
I'll ask him
wine?
whenever
Just
I get up
fermented
there.
grape juice.
But-
Jesus made the best wine. Because why? Because it broke time and space barriers.
Yep.
I don't have any problem. The Bible, the people called Peter and the apostles wine bibbers. Why? Again, I'll tell you, they did not have ways to preserve grape juice. And that's why when Jesus went on the cross, they gave him what? Vinegar.
And they
which
probably
was
didn't have a lot of clean water back then either.
No, they didn't.
No.
Vinegar was wine that had gone bad. And that's what they put a sponge on and put him on the cross when he said, I thirst. And so it's really cool to see all the different things. And so people are going to say, well, Jesus never drank wine. He said, I will not drink it again with you until I come to the kingdom.
Yep.
And so those things are there. And so do I have a problem with some of those? No, Jesus obviously never got drunk and those kind of things. But also it depends on where you are.
Yep.
It depends on what. Oh, well, what about in Germany? Well, we're not in Germany. We're in America.
Yeah.
America.
And just look what alcoholism today. Look at what
Oh,
Bud
my
Light has
word.
done.
Oh God,
I think you hit it on the head, though.
that's a whole
What
other
does
story.
alcohol do to people
Yes.
and to
Yeah.
families and
Yes.
to jobs
Shred.
and,
Yep.
There's nothing
and to
good that
everything
comes
else?
from it. Nothing.
Unfortunately, there's not.
If you were questioning whether you should do something, you should probably always side on the error of caution,
Yeah.
which would be not deal with it.
Are there some
because
things
there's-
that we shouldn't do because we're Christian?
Yeah,
yes.
yes,
exactly.
Yeah,
stand
absolutely.
alone and not look like the world.
That's what you're
Absolutely.
saying.
Hey, and
And that's what I'm saying with this too, with this whole situation. Our church is going to do cantatas. We like new music. We do our praise and worship group and team, and I appreciate all the hard work you guys put in. But if y'all go to dancing, we're cutting you off, okay?
Wait, did you say tostadas?
Listen,
no, honestly, I didn't hear what you said, so I was asking.
Cantatas.
I have.
What is that? I don't know what cantata
It's
is.
a big
It's a
choir
special
production.
music special.
Choir
Oh.
production.
That's all it is.
Okay, my bad. Continue.
I have a flag
Tostadas are
routine.
the Hispanic version of a cantata.
I have a flag routine that I learned from Hillsong United. that
You're
I
not
was
going to
gonna-
do it. Sorry. Sorry.
Hey,
Bethel,
listen,
come on, Bethel.
I wanted to go back to the Oscars. This is the little things that you get, the awards.
Oh yeah, I've
So
seen
the middle
those.
one is the Oscar. The one on the right is Ta, and the one on the right is ISIS or something.
Osiris.
Osiris.
Forgot what it's called. So if you look on the side of the building where they have this at, I forgot what they call it. It actually calls it the Babylon Court. In the background,
Oh, wow.
it has the Tower of Babel. So going back, yes, the
There you
Grammys was terrible, and
Yeah.
it was Satanism 101. But this is founded in Satanism.
And
This
who
is
founded Babel?
idolatry.
Who founded the city of Babel?
Babylonians.
Nobody knows. Nimrod. That's his name. That's
He
his
was-
name.
Yep, he was
Nimrod, the mighty
He was
hunter
good
that
until
left,
he
and he
turned.
was. That's it. So anyway, just for your trivia, just in case you know, just look him up. It's pretty amazing to see what's going on.
That's an
founder of
unfortunate
Babylon.
name, though.
Well, it wasn't for him. He turned it into the name.
Yeah, don't be a Nimrod.
Well, the thing is this. It's
That's
not
where it
just
comes from.
That's where it
Comes from. I mean, come on.
I like it.
Yeah, and
Well, it's
learn
not-
something new every day, don't you? Even on the Church
Yep,
Guys podcast.
Exactly. Go ahead, Q.
I was going to say it's not just America that's going through this. It's also all
Oh, it's the world.
it's the world, because if you see the Brazilian
Oh yeah, that
festival
parade.
they had
Oh, that's
where
terrible. That's
they
been bad
where
for a
they
long
were
time.
acting like Jesus was
Oh, they were
getting
mocking-
poked by,
yeah, they
by
were
Satan,
mocking
but then they
Jesus.
had like the big tower thing, the big
Yeah,
pyramid of
yeah, they were
Tower of
mocking
all the
Babel.
time.
That's what they were doing.
That's nuts.
I mean, it's just crazy.
It's a worldwide
It's-
phenomenon.
it's-
That's what I'm saying. We're near the end. We're in the end.
Yeah, for
By the
sure.
way, France is in shambles too. I was going to mention that, but we're out of time.
Yep.
What's
thank
wrong
you.
with France?
Oh, look it up, bro.
They're
And
fried. They're fried.
It is
Ah.
exactly. It
Wait,
is-
wait, I
it's
got
going
it.
crazy.
Hey,
Finally, our board's
Using our
coming.
board. Come on, DJ.
Yeah.
I'm out of my stuff is out of order, so it's all over the place.
Well, now
but-
I got to know what France. What do you mean? they're in
All the
shambles?
marches and stuff. They want their freedom. France is up in an uproar because they pushed the retirement age from 65 to 67, and the people are just going sneaking nuts.
It's crazy, dude.
I wish
There's
I could
riots.
retire.
It's not on the
There's
news.
people
but it's-
getting like slaughtered.
There's old
Really?
people.
It is, yes,
crazy.
It's insane.
even know that.
There.
Old people are over there rioting.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's not.
everybody.
It's
Everybody.
everybody. And
It's
That's
like a French
crazy.
Revolution or
I
something.
think there's more. It's more than just that.
Well, that was the camel straw.
Right.
Uh,
There's I think the
straw that
yellow
won't go
vests or
back.
something. So the yellow vests are like the conservative Christians, if you will, standing up against the regime.
Yeah.
That's their
Yeah.
and they
Macron.
are going. They're killing them.
Wow.
It's
They have
crazy.
crosses with yellow vests on them now. Where there's so many people dying. It's pretty it's crazy.
I have to look
But
that up. I
Have you
hadn't-
seen it in the news?
no.
I don't.
Absolutely not.
I don't watch the news, so
You won't see anything anyway.
Absolutely not.
if the Daily Wire doesn't talk about it, I
You'll see
usually
them
don't know
once you
about
see
it.
like a moon landing.
We've probably been there. We've probably been there. But did it happen during that time? I doubt it.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring that up. That's how Tim
Oh.
Hawkins taught me a long time ago.
Stir in the pot.
When you want a good joke, keep rolling the joke bombs out there and come back to the
And
same
maybe
joke
it'll be
bomb.
50. That's good. That's good. Take those.
Before we
Oh,
go,
yeah.
a couple
Okay,
things.
we're gonna talk about Rogers.
No. We have a merch store that has gone online.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so go check it out. It's on our.
It is cool. There's all kinds of stuff you can.
Yeah.
When am I getting my hat, DJ?
What is today? The 19th or the 18th? It's supposed to ship out on the 19th.
Today's the
according-
20th.
All right.
Is it? It is the 20th. So yeah, it should have shipped out yesterday.
All right. I'm gonna let you know how it is, listeners.
So there's that. If you want to look at it, go to our Facebook page.
And by the way, we don't get anything free. We have to buy it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I
We.
haven't even bought anything yet.
I haven't either, but
About
I will.
I'm gonna see how this hat is.
That's what I'm doing. I'm holding out for Quentin.
I'm the guinea pig.
The other thing is I wanted to give a shout out to a friend of mine who recently found our show, who's from Mississippi and has a very Mississippi name.
Oh,
His name is Bavard.
okay. Well, we'll talk a little slower for you, Bavard.
That's Brett, by the way.
Brett. Yeah.
We want to welcome
So-
our
Dude,
Mississippi
he probably is a Mississippi State
he's the
fan like my
Aggie.
brother-in-law.
He's the Aggie.
Wait, you said it wrong. That's how you know. It's a Mississippi. It's not. It's spelled Mississippi, but if you're from Mississippi, it's Mississippi.
Yeah, he says it that way. So
Mississippi.
he's a good guy.
Thank God I'm a Texan. But hey, I'm glad you're a listener. We do.
I've helped him on
appreciate your
some server stuff online, and I was helping him, and he come across. He like saw it because we do like a screen share, so I can remote in, he can remote in. But he saw the logo that I had made. He didn't ask about it, and then he found our
That's cool.
podcast, and then he sent me a text message. He's like, "Hey, I got a weird question for you." And I went, okay. And he asked permission to listen to the podcast. I was like, it's on a public platform, so go for it.
Please
So
listen,
like
man.
and subscribe. Please like and subscribe.
he didn't know I was going to shout out to him, but
Share with your people.
Appreciate you,
but his exact words. He asked how many listeners we had, and I told him. He's like, "Why not more? Because I'm captivated." So I was like, "Heck yeah!"
Keep sharing it. We'll get more.
I
So
hope we have more captives listening to us.
It's only the listeners. The only way they will listen is if we shackle them to the radio.
so that's all I had. Go to our Facebook page. I don't know if I've put our website on our Facebook page yet because of the whole hacker situation.
Yeah, he had a rough week.
Yeah, and it's still going rough because we have
Tough
a
times.
puppy at the house now, so I don't get any sleep.
Why? It's a dog. Lock him in a room.
I do, and she yells all night long. But anyway, so you can go to our Facebook page. It should be on there. If not, it will be. We have hats, shirts, sweatshirts, golf
Anything you
balls,
can think of, honestly.
keychains.
Mugs,
You
coffee
got
mugs.
balls. That's funny.
I did do the golf balls.
Coffee mugs.
They're expensive golf balls. I think it's a package of 4. It's like $6.
Especially when they go in the water.
Yeah.
Better be Pro
So-
V's, baby.
They go in the water just as good as other ones.
Yep. So we got all kinds of stuff. We don't see the money. I mean, we do, but it's going to go towards
Yeah.
our monthly expenses to run this podcast. It's been fun. Feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks since we recorded, but it
Oh, I
hasn't.
thought you meant long we've been doing this. I was going,
No.
Like, we've been doing this for like 7 to 8 months.
Yeah, we're fixing to hit a year in August.
August, baby.
And so
Yeah,
August.
That's a good achievement. Kind of like whenever America actually makes it to the moon. That'll be a good.
Hey, that was a
No, I
great
heard- I
that was
heard
a
about
great
the joke.
achievement, Brett. Come on.
I heard that whenever you make a joke, you got to keep saying it.
That was a
Read
great
it- read
achievement.
it in the books.
That was a great achievement.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. We appreciate you. Spread the word, and I'm talking about Jesus' word, not just the talking about us podcasts and stuff. I'm talking about get out there, shine the light, spread the word. We appreciate y'all so much. Like I said, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Hey guys, on the next episode of the Church Guys podcast, we're going to be doing a little post-draft analysis. We may even have a special guest, who knows. We're going to be talking about some more sports drama, whether Aaron Rodgers is a Jet or whether he's jetted out of the league or retired. We're going to be talking about MLB, how the Rangers are dominating everyone, making some real big changes. We'll be talking about some NBA playoffs, how LeBron is still flopping and hopefully not winning championships. And then last but not least, we'll be covering Conspiracy Corner with Brett, maybe talking about another moon landing drama segment. I don't know, whatever he's got, something crazy for us. And then most importantly, we're going to be talking about Jesus, some biblical topics, and how he has come to save everyone. We appreciate you listening, guys.